today's fast paced world, we are usually in a hurry to make judgments and decisions and to get things done. But science tells us that we often do a much better job when we slow down instead of rushing through things, when we give ourselves time to mull over our thoughts and ideas and to let them simmer in our conscious and subconscious mind. This has been proven to improve our creativity, rationality, problem solving, and decision making. When we pause, take a breath, and allow our minds to think deeper about a problem or decision, that can be of great help. Our subconscious mind continues to work behind the scenes, making connections and sparking fresh ideas. The best ideas, solutions, and decisions often come from mulling over the problem and stewing in it for a while to let the solutions develop gradually. This is well supported by research in both psychology and neuroscience. There's a concept called incubation in creativity and problem-solving research. It suggests that taking a break from actively thinking about a problem can lead to better, more creative solutions. Even when we are not consciously thinking about the problem, our brain continues to work on it in the background. This can help people get new insights, ideas, and solutions. Because our brain's default mode network, which is active during daydreaming or mind wandering, is still subconsciously processing information and making connections that we are not consciously aware of. This is not just for creative thinking and problem solving. Slowing down and mulling things over helps a lot with logical and rational thinking too. Researchers like the late Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman and his late colleague Amos Tversky proposed the dual process theory of thinking. This explains how we think in two different ways or modes. The System 1 mode of thinking is fast, automatic, instinctive, and emotional, and it can often make us jump to conclusions. The System 2 type of thinking is slow, deliberate, and logical. So, when we stop, slow down, and take time to reflect and think deeper, we allow ourselves to switch from the fast, intuitive responses of System 1 to the more thoughtful analysis of System 2. This shift helps us consider different perspectives and alternatives, weigh their pros and cons, and avoid rushing into impulsive and rash decisions. Have you ever experienced an aha moment or a eureka moment where the solution to a problem suddenly pops into your mind, seemingly from nowhere? Neuroscience research tells us that these moments of insight don't just pop into your mind from nowhere. They are a result of a lot of subconscious processing. In fact, researchers have found increased activity in the brain's right temporal lobe just before people experience these moments of clarity. This tells us that the brain was always working behind the scenes, analyzing the information, making connections, and piecing together information to help the idea or solution click. But you need to allow the time for these thoughts to stew and give your subconscious mind time to do the work. When we are facing tough and complex decisions, our prefrontal cortex, which is the brain's control center for planning and decision making, can become overactive. And this can actually inhibit or reduce our creativity. Research tells us that during active creative thinking, there's a temporary reduction in PFC, prefrontal cortex activity in the brain. This lowering of PFC control allows us to think more freely and explore new ideas. It's important to relax and slow down for this lowering of control to happen effectively. Also, being in a positive mood encourages more creative thinking and the exploring of multiple alternatives. When you allow yourself to reflect on a decision without pressure, you give yourself the chance to approach it in a more relaxed, positive state. This mindset not only enhances creativity but also helps you think more clearly and rationally. Sleeping on an idea, problem, or decision can be the best form of slowing down for both creativity and rationality. During sleep, especially REM sleep, the brain continues to process and reorganize information, which often leads to new insights. That's how we sometimes wake up with solutions to problems that we were thinking about just before we went to sleep. Sleep is a natural subconscious mulling over period when your brain works through complex information while you rest. During sleep, your brain also firms up your new memories with what you already know, helping you deepen your understanding of a problem. So the next time you face a tough decision or a tricky choice, don't rush into anything. Think about the problem, discuss it with others, and let it stew for a while. Maybe sleep on it. The best ideas come when you let your thoughts and ideas simmer and use the power of your subconscious and conscious mind to find better ideas, insights, and solutions.